author and nutritionist Robert Ferguson. Please welcome Robert Ferguson.
All right, y'all, let's hear it for America's Fat Loss Coach, Robert Ferguson!
Hey, this is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. What's up, everybody? AKA that's Robert Lawrence Ferguson. And I am going to talk about menopause today. And yes, I am fully aware that I am not a woman, but for years I have coached many women of quite a few ages as it pertains to menopause. Some of you are gaining weight unexpectedly. Some of you are experiencing anxiety. Some of you are irritable. Some of you are just, you're just done with it. You know what I mean? And I'm doing this live today and sharing this information today because one of my clients who I hadn't coached in a little bit, but we came back together like Batman and Robin, Bonnie and Hyde, and we're going to get it done. And she didn't know that I knew so much about menopause because when I was coaching her, it got the best of her. And the next thing you know, she kind of became distant, and I reached out, she reached back, we reconnected, and then we talked about it, and she was like, why don't you let more people know that you know this much about it? And I said, you know what? I'm going to do a live today, and I'm going to share 4 things, and I guarantee you at least one of these 4 things, every woman that's listening to me, I will bet money this is going to be the first time you've learned about it. And you've talked to your doctor about menopause, you probably had consideration or going through hormone replacement or hormone therapy. And a whole bunch of doctors who are going to hear this and a whole bunch of personal trainers and nutritionists are going to be like, man, I'm glad I actually listened and I learned that because I didn't know that. And with that information, they'll be able to help their clients. Oh yeah, 100% you guys. Because menopause is no joke. I get it. And in the beginning when I was coaching, in the late 90s, early 2000s, I had no idea, right? The only idea I had was the idea that I watched my mom have hot flashes. And then I watched my barber. I used to have a female barber who I watched her have hot flashes. And I may share a couple of those stories because it was mind-blowing to see it just happen out of nowhere. It was mind-blowing. And again, I just believe that nutrition plays a role. Food as medicine plays a huge role, and it's to everyone's benefit. And so all of my coaches out there and all of those people who are thinking about one day becoming a coach, and all of you nutritionists and dietitians who are coaching and you're out there doing your thing, listen up, because I believe you're going to learn a couple things that you did not know. And if I'm wrong, let me know about it, and I will apologize. But I am fully confident that I'm going to share something today that you did not know. So today is a good day. Now, everything that I am sharing with you today is based on or brought to you by our detox drop. And if I was a woman experiencing any part of menopause and I wanted to get a jump start with my health, with my fitness, with my mood, with my energy, I would be doing a detox drop. And if I was really going through it, I would begin every month with a detox drop. Every month. See, once you get the detox drop, right, which you can see is $69.95, you experience it. And then after you experience it, then to do the detox drop again only costs $34.95, half the price. Because all you need is the Vita blend that comes with it, because you get lifetime access to our booklet that shows you step by step with the meal plan and all of that to do the detox drop. So everyone would benefit from it. And if somebody wanted to lose weight, great way to get that ball rolling as well. So there you have it. Everything I'm going to share with you today is brought to you by the Detox Drop 7-day program. Okay, let's get into this. Now, I'm going to share with you 4 things about the detox drop. But before I do that, how many of you know what menopause is? If you're catching me live, because this is an impromptu, it wasn't scheduled, so I don't have a whole bunch of people that are going to just be waiting for the show. It's on a Saturday that we're recording this live. A lot of people are doing things on Saturday. The weather's probably nice where you are. You're out and about, and you'll say, "Oh, I'm gonna catch the replay later." But for those who are listening, even if you already know the answer, if you have a question that you think other people would want to have answered, this is a good time to bring it up. If you have grandkids, young ladies, or you have a daughter, maybe she's in her late 20s, early 30s, she's starting to think about menopause, or maybe she's in her 40s and you want her to be informed about a few things, then what questions do you think she would have? If you got questions, I want you to bring it. Now, what's up there, Sandy? Sandy Silver's in the house. That's Sandy. Yes, everybody. And then we got Linda. Linda says, yes and no. I never experienced any of the symptoms. Some people never experience the symptoms. That is true. But a hell of a lot of people do. Let me tell you. Now, as I'm mentioning, menopause and questions and things about it, Sandy brings up changes in your hormones. And if I was talking to a large majority of women, Sandy, I would ask them, write down on a sheet of paper, when you say hormones, what you mean. What hormones are affected? Now, unfortunately, many of you will find yourself talking to your doctor. They may recommend certain things that sounds right because you don't know any better, right? Because you're not fully informed. They may be misinformed. And next thing you know, you're getting hormone replacement, hormone therapy. You're taking some supplements that they recommend because you really don't know. You don't like the symptoms. You don't like what you're experiencing. And you're going for supplements, or you're going for some type of medication or some type of formality. It could cost you $1,200, $2,400, $5,000. And you're going to go do all of that. And I guarantee you don't have enough information about menopause to be making that kind of decision. And you're trusting that they're going to give you the right information. And I say that, you guys, because this morning I was talking to one of my clients, and her total cholesterol was up. Her LDL cholesterol was up. She was talking to the physician assistant. And when she was leaving that meeting with her doctor, the physician assistant, she had told her she was working with a nutritionist. So I'm her nutritionist, my client. And she said, well, I have a nutritionist I'm working with. And she says, yeah, well, talk to him about, one of the markers in her panel, which isn't relevant to what we're talking about. But she says, ask him if you should cut back on your egg yolks and maybe replace the egg yolks with egg whites. Well, here's the problem with that. We know for years that egg yolks and foods that have a good amount of cholesterol in them do not cause your total cholesterol or LDLs to go up. So eating cholesterol plays no role in your level of cholesterol in your blood. None. Now, at one point, that was recommended by the government, the FDA, but even and it was also recommended by the American Heart Association and many other organizations. But as of 2015, they ate crow and they acknowledged that they were wrong. And it's been in many papers. So that's 8 years. So 8 years, every physician, every nurse, all the education that they're getting when they go to school, they're told that eating cholesterol plays no role in your cholesterol. However, if my client wasn't working with me, she would have just taken that recommendation from that physician assistant who is misinformed. Now, if you're uninformed, you'll be influenced by someone who's misinformed. So you got the sheep following the sheep. So when you look at that example, it totally ties in to what I'm going to share with you about menopause. People don't know. They're just ignorant, but a lot of people speak with confidence about it. And if you don't know any better, you'll just assume their truth and what they're sharing with you is the end all and be all. Okay? So let's get into it. Oh, now if you are new to me, I want to say thank you for being here. And I also want to encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, visit our website at dietfreelife.com. I also made available some links if you want to learn more. And if you're interested in being a client, I have two types of clients. I have clients who you can reach out and I can coach you, or I can put you in touch with one of our other coaches if I'm full. And I have a discounted program that is a great program. I mean, really like affordable. And if that's not available, then I'll let you know that my regular prices are available, which is about 8 times more a month. So there's a significant savings. So if you're thinking about being coached, all you got to do is reach out and I'll let you know if I have slots available at the discounted rate. And I always, for the most part, have availability at my regular rate. Okay. So, because I do fire clients and some clients give up on themselves and quit. And so they give up that slot, which makes no sense to me because, I mean, for a sandwich and a coffee a week, they get access to me as a coach at a really nice price. So that part never makes sense to me when someone just gives up on themselves, because I will never give up on them. And it's nice to have someone that you can communicate with that can help you stay the course, maintain that accountability, and be successful. All right. So what are 4 things that we want to know about menopause? Well, before I dive in, let's look at some of the symptoms when people are going through it. And this is not all of the symptoms, but I'm going to highlight them real quick because many of you have no idea what some people are experiencing. Like what Linda said, she never had symptoms. When a person is experiencing menopause, anxiety is big. We're talking changes in mood. People become quite irritable. And all you men out there who are catching this, if your wife, girlfriend, cousin, sister, they're going through it, forward this message, this post, this live that I'm doing, this message, forward it to them because I'm going to share some things that could really help them. And it's nice to know that when you're experiencing changes in mood, you are more irritable, that's normal. Okay, that does happen, and we definitely have compassion for you. A person may experience changes in skin conditions, dryness, or maybe your skin may become more oily. You can get adult acne, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, I haven't had acne forever," and that may be the case. And if it's acne, you haven't had it forever, and it just shows up, okay. And then you have those people when they go through it, they experience difficulty in sleeping. And if you like to get your sleep, and now you're having a difficult time sleeping, that can cause weight gain. A lot of people experience weight gain in the midsection. That can have you moody all day. And people are thinking, man, you're just not yourself. There's discomfort during sexual intercourse. And that becomes a big problem and a concern for a lot of people in relationships. And it's important to know that can happen. Now, all these things I'm sharing with you, there's things that you can do to improve it. And what I've done with my clients is work with them, listen to my clients, and then give them recommendations when it comes to food, like nutrition, that I believe will contribute toward helping them deal with these symptoms even better. And if they're doing other things, I become set of ears, or second eyes, and I become like just another consultant to them, giving my 2 cents based on my years of experience. Some people feel feelings of loss. And when I say loss of self, it's like they don't care. So my client who I talked to this morning, she fell into that, and that got her, because she got to a point where the last thing I want to think about right now is what I eat and how I eat. I don't want nobody telling me what I need to eat and what I can't eat. That's what she was thinking about. So it's like, so the last person she wanted to talk to was me. And probably one of the best people she could have talked to was me. But there was a disconnect. Then you have the hot flashes. Woo! I have seen those. And one of the things I shared with my client this morning, I said, are you experiencing hot flashes? And she said, yes. And I shared with her that there's a food, if you snack on it once a day, I'm talking like they did a major study on this. It's proven that if you snack on this food once a day, it will reduce your hot flashes and many of your symptoms by over 90%. And that's been reported. So it's observational, but it's been reported. And when I brought that up, she was like, well, I'd never heard of that. And I said, have you talked to your doctor? Have you talked to people who specialize or give advice when it comes to menopause? She goes, yeah. And I said, and no one brought this up. This is a legit study. It's proven. I've recommended it for quite a few years now and gotten great feedback from the people who did it. And they said, Robert, I don't know if it's in my mind, but I feel like this is helping me. So my question to her was, if they're not aware of this study and they're saying they're an expert, something's not matching up here, because this is something they would have recommended if they're an expert. Now, who knows? I mean, I've been surprised by some things. Maybe they just missed that. I don't know. Sometimes people experience hair loss, hair thinning. Sometimes women will have an increase in facial hair, migraines. You know what? It can go on and on and on. On and on and on. So this is serious. So let's dive in. Let's get to it. Let's go over the 4 things that I want you to know as it pertains to menopause. Number 1. Anybody want to guess before I actually share this? I know sometimes you guys are like, Robert, let's get to it. We want to hear what you got to say, and then we can, think about it, look into it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Number 1, it's important to know there's 4 stages of menopause. I'm going to simplify this because we could add more things to it. Pre-menopause. Now, a lot of times people never heard that. They go, do you mean perimenopause? No. I mean pre-menopause. See, premenopause is the time between a woman's first period and the onset of perimenopause. So let's say that my daughter or your daughter or someone's daughter has their period at the age of 15, maybe 12, maybe 11. Whenever they have their first period, at that moment after that first period, they are premenopausal, all the way up until the point that they become perimenopause. I could talk about this more, but it starts after you have your first period. Everybody good there? That's called premenopause. If you have not had a period, let's say you're a 9-year-old kid walking around, never had a period, well, you're not premenopause. Menopause, nothing is part of who you are. It's not even there. But once you have your first cycle, you're premenopause. So my question is, did you know that? Have you even heard the term premenopause? And don't mix it up with perimenopause. Premenopause. Okay? So now we know that. The next thing is to understand is, what do we mean by perimenopause? Okay, this is a transition phase when you're about to move into menopause, which can last, they say, on average about 6 years. And it typically occurs, not always, but typically occurs to women in their 40s to early 50s. And that's according to the National Institute on Aging. Perimenopause is the time around menopause when your ovaries gradually, slowly stop working. This is a natural process that causes physical and emotional symptoms, as we discussed. It does not need treatment, but treatment can help lessen symptoms. And I throw in treatment. Part of treatment is nutrition. Now, treatment includes hormones, antidepressants, and lifestyle changes. My clients who are perimenopause, we have learned a lot over the years. And through my experience with working with people and getting people to eat in a way that we teach that helps them optimize their levels of insulin and glucose throughout the day, we've seen some really good results. So some of the symptoms that people were experiencing, we've seen those symptoms subside. When you think of just emotional, right? We know that 90+% of serotonin, right? Because most people think it's in the brain. We're talking about how you feel. Serotonin is produced in your gut. If your gut health is not good and you have dysbiosis, that can play with you emotionally. It can stress you out. It can really affect your mood. By getting your gut in better balance, I've had many people come off SSRIs, meaning antidepressants, because their gut becomes healthier. So with the Diet Free Life methodology, we have people eating foods in balance, right? Combining foods in a right way that will help them optimize their gut health, which plays a huge role in their mental health. So don't discount nutrition because it plays a huge role. Now, if someone is just eating recklessly and don't really care, like the majority of adults, that's going to also cause them to gain weight. They're going to have more disruption in the gut, and it's going to be hard to find that motivation to kind of get it together and do it the right way. So if I was perimenopause and I knew about, working with a coach and learning about the diet-free life methodology, I would be all over. And that's not selling you. I'm just sharing with you the truth, because learning how to eat when you hit perimenopause can make your symptoms like less, can put you in a stronger position where you can own it. And then, exercise also plays a huge role in it. But what we do, man, is so valuable. Everyone would benefit from learning the diet-free life methodology and applying it on a regular basis. Okay. So now you know what perimenopause is. So peri, for the most part, comes before menopause. Now, if you knew both of these, you're way ahead of the game. I would be willing to bet you don't know the third thing I'm going to share. Okay. The third thing is menopause. Now, you've heard of menopause, but did you know that menopause only lasts one day? Menopause only lasts for one day. I first learned this from the amazing Dr. Sharon Adi. And she taught this, and I'll never forget watching when I was part of her touring. She has this thing called Beautiful Women Inside and Out. And she's dynamic and she's really good at what she does. And that's the first time I ever heard someone stress that. And she paused and she thought about it for a second and she said it again. And I was like, wow, it's only one day. Most women do not know that. Now, if you're catching it live and you know that, Linda, Sandy, anyone else, tell me, comment right now. Or even if someone's catching the replay, if you knew that before I just said that, I want to know. If you didn't know it, I want to know. Because I've never met a woman, and I've coached thousands of women over the years. I've done hundreds of presentations to primarily women when it comes to health, weight loss, etc. And I have never heard or had a woman tell me I already knew that. Menopause lasts one day, 24 hours. Now, this is how it happens. Menopause is signaled by 12 months since your last menstruation. So let's say that a person had their last menstruation December 31st. And on December 31st, they go a whole year until December 31st the next year. On January 1st, menopause. On January 2nd, postmenopause. Menopause is one day. One day. And menopause happens when the ovaries no longer release an egg every month and menstruation completely, one more time, completely stops. See, women are born with all their eggs, which are stored in their ovaries. Their ovaries also make the hormones estrogen and progesterone. I know a lot about estrogen and progesterone as it pertains to dropping body fat. Okay, I know a whole bunch about those two hormones. And now we're talking about it as far as menopause. Now, estrogen and progesterone, which control your period, your menstruation, and the release of eggs, that's ovulation. The average age for menopause is 51 in the United States. And yes, it's a natural biological process. If you live long enough, you will experience menopause one day. Now, for those of you who are hearing this for the first time, think about it. One, you can Google it, challenge me, look it up. But why are you just now hearing that from me, a guy who helps people with nutrition, health, and weight loss? Every woman you would think would know this. And if you don't know it, why didn't your doctor explain it? Because I've been in the room many times with a whole bunch of physicians, and I'll say menopause is one day. And everybody looks at me like weird until I break it down. Then they go, oh, never really thought about it like that. It's like, One day. One day. And most people don't know. And if you've worked with me for a long time, I'm just that kind of dude, right? I'm just always looking for better understanding. Like I have critical thinking in full effect because I want to know the details. I don't want to just glaze over it. And I really believe that's what helped me and over the years be a pretty decent martial artist to eventually get into the Hall of Fame in that space. I believe that's what helps me with my practice today with nutrition and health is that I don't just look over and glaze over things. I like details. And so that's pretty interesting to me. That menopause is one day. What? Can't believe it. Well, okay, so let's see. Sandy says, I guess that's why you hear pre-menopause or post-menopause. Yeah, because menopause is one day. What's up there, Cecilia? Cecilia says, I have never heard that. And think about how old we are, Cecilia. Think of every doctor visit you've ever had. Think of all the times you've heard women talk about menopause, and we're hearing this for the first time, right? Someone in our private group says, never heard of that. Linda says, nope, did not. Sharon, never heard of that. And I appreciate you guys sharing because it's just something that you just don't hear about. That's why when the first time I heard Sharon Oddie say it, I was like, she should write a book and explain that menopause is one day. Because after that, you have postmenopause. And I just think that's just cool. Now, the fourth thing, so now I think we're all in agreement that everybody's hearing something for the first time. And it's so interesting because I'll see people, because I don't have the hundreds of thousands or millions of followers yet, but it's growing. But I know a lot of the key people in the industry in health and fitness, a lot of trainers, a lot of people that teach, they follow me and they watch my stuff, right? And then they take it and then they make it their own. It's not like they're going to go, well, I heard this for the first time from a guy named Robert Ferguson at Diet Free Life, which is fine. I mean, we all only got so much time on this earth, so I'm not trying to like keep it and own it for myself. But again, this is an impromptu share today, and I learned it, and I was sharing it with one of my clients, so I thought I'm going to talk about it today because it comes up a lot. And if you guys know anyone who is dealing with weight gain as a result of menopause, no matter where they are at with it, send them my way because I can save them a lot of time, a lot of energy. I'm telling you, anyone who's dealing with this and you're concerned with weight gain or you're going through it, stay humble, reach out. And maybe if I don't have a program for you, even at a discounted rate, I can put you in touch with a coach. I have a lot of coaches in training and they would love, they need people. So we can help you out. Okay. We can help you out. Don't put this off. This is, great opportunity. Okay. Now let's go on to number 4. Number 4, postmenopause. Well, postmenopause is the time after menopause, of course, when a woman hasn't experienced a period for over a year. So it's been a full year. You're postmenopausal. Postmenopause, you will no longer have periods for the rest of your life. Now, some women, when they go postmenopausal, will continue to experience symptoms of menopause. But again, we've talked about that. And those symptoms can range from everything from changes in mood, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, discomfort with, when you have sex, feelings of loss, hot flashes, and no one can tell you exactly when. But this is where a lot of people are falling prey to cray-cray, is that you have quite a few doctors out there. You have quite a few businesses that say they have a solution for those symptoms. And sometimes you'll hear things like hormonal replacement, hormone therapy, and you start going in and they start playing with levels of progesterone and estrogen. They start talking about testosterone. And next thing you know, you're relying on these doctors. And there's some good ones out there. I know some. So if you even need one, I know one that's really good. Kind of know two, but I know one that is pretty good who you can either call as a consultant because maybe you don't live where this person lives. The doctor I know, she's in California and she's awesome. And if you reach out to me, I could put you in touch with her. I know some other doctors that are into this space, but I'm not sure about them because they know of my work and they know that I could help some of their people, but they don't tell their people about how I could help them. They just want to sell them on their therapies because that's what they're thinking about is getting paid. And sometimes I have to refer someone to someone else. I won't get paid, but I got to do what I believe is best for the person I'm working with. And a lot of people don't think like that. They want to get paid first. And then if they think they could lose a client, if they sent them to me or somewhere else where they can get help, then sometimes they won't even do that. So again, I only know one. I know one doctor that I can refer someone to if they want to talk about hormones, hormone replacement, hormone therapy. They want better understanding of that. I have someone I can refer you to. Okay. So there you have it. So would you guys say this was a good time together? Now, some people are just going to like grit their teeth, deal with the cray they experience when they're going through, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, instead of getting help from someone like me. So I can help them with food as medicine. And I can tell you this right now, whether it's perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, exercising consistently is very important. And hitting the weights is very important. And when you're really feeling anxiety and you're really feeling irritable, get to a place where you hit the weights, and that's where you go for your power and your strength days. That's where you hit the weights really hard. And I'm telling you, all the clients I work with, when I have them thinking like this, it's a great benefit. And many of them see that they're stronger on days when they're going through it because they have recourse. They have something that they're going to do when they're really feeling it. And that's a prescription, you guys. That is a prescription. So share this with other people, whether you forward them what I post or what I'm sharing. But I think everyone would benefit to understand the difference between the 4 topics that we talked about. Premenopause, there's no symptoms, so you don't hear anybody talk about it, but I do think it's nice to know that. There will come a day where it's perimenopause. That's when the symptoms start to show up and it can be really crazy. Menopause, knowing that it's one day, and after that, okay, I'm going to deal with this thing totally different because I'm post-menopause. And at that point, if the symptoms continue, the same things you did when you were perimenopause, you'll continue to do. You'll just become better at it. Okay? Now, before I say bye, if you have any other questions about this or anything else that we're talking about, please bring it up. What's up there, Sharon? Happy Saturday. Sharon says, my doctor had no advice. She just said, looks like you're doing okay. Well, you know what? It's the same as weight loss, you guys. The average doctor doesn't know. Many of them are battling with losing weight themselves. So a lot of my clients who go to their doctors and the doctor sees how much weight they've lost, or maybe their blood sugar levels got better, or they no longer need blood pressure medication. A lot of those doctors, I have quite a few. I keep a lot of, I think I have maybe about 11 or 12 doctors right now, physicians that are clients. And they listen to my talks and these kind of things because that's not their expertise. Same as I can't really do much on, how to, do a heart transplant, or, I don't know how to do that. I'm intrigued with it, but I don't know how to do it or how I could do it. I couldn't do it for someone. I mean, it would be illegal. I mean, that's not my expertise. So everyone has their expertise. And because we have a method, a system, it makes it easier for our coaches to teach it because it's a system. And it makes it much easier for someone to learn it because it's a system. And things continue to get better with the system. But when you have that kind of structure in place, it makes it so much easier for people to get started and to stay started. So anyway, you're going to meet some woman, you're going to hear some person talking about they're going through menopause. If they haven't already started hormonal replacement or hormonal therapy, tell them to reach out to me. I'll give them a free conversation on the phone. If they've already started hormonal therapy or hormone replacement, they can still reach out, because my goal would be to help them transition off of all of that and get back to food as medicine, because that's where sustainability will be. Okay, learning how to eat foods you enjoy and in the right combinations to get the lifestyle, the energy, the feel that you desire. All right. So good luck with this. Again, go to our YouTube channel. If you caught me on Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere else other than YouTube, go to our YouTube channel. I would say like, subscribe, because you may forget my name or forget the name of the, Diet Free Life, and you go, oh man, I want to watch that, or I want to hear he talked about this or that. But if you subscribe and you comment here and there, then you're more likely to be notified whenever we go live. And then you can either catch it live or you could watch the replay at your convenience. I am your nutritionist, Diet Free Life. I'm Robert Ferguson, and I share because I care. Until the next one, peace.